Hello and welcome everybody to another Destiny podcast. Thank you to everyone who's listening in, live
Yeah, what's up,
or
everyone?
recorded. We appreciate all of y'all. Hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe during these interesting times. But how are you guys doing? Bull and Starlight.
I'm doing
Cole, take
pretty
her
well.
away.
Well, thanks, guys. I was about to promote this promote this episode. I'm in the middle of typing something out, but I guess I can type and talk at the same time. Spoiler alert: I can't.
Don't
So,
worry, you just need a really loud keyboard so everyone can tell when you're typing, like me.
I'm typing on my phone, actually, Starlight. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
right, because you're poor. I forgot.
Right. Not everyone can afford two monitors.
We're all poor these
Newt,
days, Newt.
Okay. Not everyone can afford two monitors and a 34-inch ultra wide and 2070 Super with 3700X and NZXT H510.
Eat the
Elite.
rich. I'm gonna eat Starlight and take his
Please
rich. It's
don't.
gonna be
I'm
great.
all sinewy. It's all lean fats. It's not what you want. It's
Sounds
not lean fats
delicious.
either.
Sure,
It's all
you may have two
cellular.
monitors, but I have two mice, two keyboards. That's what you really want when you're streaming.
I think you have an infestation if you have two mice.
And I've got a rock.
Bad jokes.
I got
Bad
a rock.
joke. Bad joke.
All right.
Okay,
cool.
well, we'll start with Starlight. How about Starlight?
Oh,
How have you been?
fine, we can start with Starlight. Good. Still working.
Mhm.
I got home. Luckily, for me, it's work's been really good, and I've been riding my bike to and from. Just because even though I'm still working, this whole deal with the isolation is making me a couch potato.
Yep.
So I'm getting trill fat, which is not a thing that I can allow to happen in my profession. So
You just gotta accept the couch potato and
yeah.
just veg.
No, I got, but the bike that is sometimes featured behind me is no longer in frame because I pulled into the house, I ditched the bike, I grabbed the dog, took the dog for a walk, grabbed a couple beers, sat down, and here I am. Haven't had dinner, worked a 12-hour shift, ate some curry that was left out on the counter overnight. It's probably fine. And here I am just hoping that I don't crap my pants in the middle of this podcast.
Starlight's gonna go. His eyes are gonna go as wide as dinner plates at some point during the cast. He'll go, "I'll be right back," and we won't see him ever again.
No, see, preemptively, I just cut a hole in my chair.
Oh
and
no
yeah, there's like a screw on.
Yeah.
So
Just
the-
one hard.
so
in
the
Spotify
run
audio.
the run home or the ride home's been great. Like my clothes are starting to fit like a little looser, which is a good sign always.
Attaboy. Well done.
Nice.
I've been crushing the most hardcore competitive game known to man, Animal Crossing.
Yep.
What the fuck else is new?
Yeah. So no, this is actually interesting. Today I spent there's no frame of reference for people who don't play, but I just spent 6.53 million bells on turnips. And I got 69 thousand 400 turnips for that
Wow.
amount. So my plan is to sell those for a profit, and if I don't, I may kill myself. No, I'm kidding.
Well, good for
I'm-
you.
I'm gonna lose it all on the stock market. It's gonna be bad.
I may
I'm
never
never gonna
financially
financially
recover
recover
from
from
this.
I mean, yeah, I don't believe I actually recover from this exactly.
Fuck off.
Honestly, I emptied my bank account in the game, and I'm like, this could be a really bad idea. I don't care, and I just went for it. So
Dominick's gonna come a knocking.
yeah, so every square inch of my island is now covered in stray turnips.
Jesus.
I am not inviting anyone over until I have sold them all because they will steal them from me and sell them, and people are assholes. Anyway, so yeah, that we had a bunch of Destiny gaming to talk about, but we can get into that later when it's
Yeah.
pertinent.
Yeah, why not?
Cole, have you finished typing on your tiny phone?
I have finished typing on my regular-sized phone. Thanks, Starlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
it's what you do with it, man. No one's gonna judge you for it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, take her away, Cole. What you been up to, buddy?
Just today, just a couple of hours ago, actually, I got back down from Up Island because Lady Cole was Lady Cole was meeting the mother. She's
From 6 feet away.
She's meeting my mom. Yeah, from 6 feet away. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah, it was all good.
I'm actually such a fan of the coronavirus conversations and
What?
introductions.
Oh.
Like,
I
I'm
wanna hug
actually
you, but I
so
can't.
down with like not
It's like
saying hi to
touching
people.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty nice. Anyways,
Yeah.
go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, Harry Peppers. Welcome to the chat. Good to see you, man.
Hey.
Yeah, they did elbow bump. It was kind of street actually, which was weird to see, but you know. But yeah, let's kick ass. Welcome to the chat. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Other than that, I've been good. I've been just gaming some Destiny. I put in some effort towards my Redrix's Broadsword quest, where you have to do the 5 Valor rank resets within a season.
yes.
The entire time, I was convinced that I was on the final, like I was on my 4th reset, and this last reset that I did was going to be number 5, so I could finally progress.
Yep.
Yeah, nah.
Oh.
Nothing fucking happened. So I'm still on reset number 4, and I want to fucking die.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. Just other than that, been doing my thing,
Yeah.
which is not a whole lot.
What game have you been playing most of?
Destiny mostly.
Yeah.
These days.
Not Fallen
been-
Order? I thought you've been gaming Fallen Order.
Dude, I haven't even started Fallen Order. That's the sad thing. I know. The really sad thing is like last episode I mentioned that I downloaded both Lego Star Wars 2 and Fallen Order at the same time. I've played more Lego Star Wars 2 than I have Fallen Order, which is a goddamn travesty, considering I'm the resident Star Wars fan on this panel of talking heads. But yeah, mostly Destiny. I haven't really had a whole lot of time for anything else. Yeah, I mean, I've been reading a lot of Warhammer lore, so
I didn't
there's
know you
that.
could read.
I know, right? Hey, I
Newt,
used
what
that book
about-
last episode.
Newt, what about you? What you been up to, buddy?
Wait, I thought I still had the spotlight.
Oh, fine. You can still have the spotlight.
No, I'm done. Go ahead, Newt.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, first of all, because I forgot to say it earlier, Harry Peppers, also thank you for the follow on Twitch.
Hey.
Twitch.tv/Another Destiny Podcast for anybody listening who wants to drop by. And also, I don't know if I missed this 10 days ago. Stephen Hawking Talking Dirty gave us a follow.
That's incredible.
I
have no idea who that is, but that's...
I know. The gamer tag, or not gamer tag, the Twitch name makes me so uncomfortable.
Oh,
But thank you for the follow.
yes.
So my week, or
Put
10
it in
days
my
actually
data
since we
port.
last casted.
Please, more.
More what?
More.
Oh,
Please, more.
no.
More.
Oh
Give
my fucking god.
Save. Yes, Daddy. Daddy. Whoa. Yes.
That's actually really good.
I apologize to the Stephen Hawking.
How do I delete someone else's stream?
How do you
Yeah.
delete me from delete IRL?
And mute.
And
Okay, so my
and
week.
unsnap.
You asked me about my week. I will tell you about my week. So
Tibbs in the chat too.
Tibbs,
Tibbs in
hey,
the
welcome to the
chat.
chat.
Hey, what up, Tibbs?
Damn, you practiced.
My week. I have been
My
playing lots of game,
Yay! Lots of game.
but I haven't really touched Destiny at all. I've been playing. I feel like nobody's gonna guess what's like nobody's listening is gonna guess what's coming.
No. The Elder Scrolls Online, but better.
Yeah, I've been playing Lord of the Rings online, which is an MMO. It's basically WoW, but for Lord of the Rings fans, I guess. With like, it's not like a full reskin. Yes, Cole, I can see the nerd coming, but we're all three of us are currently sitting on a podcast talking about video games. Like,
Hey,
That's-
I
fucking
talked
really.
about cycling for a solid 2.5 minutes. I feel like I get exempt.
Yeah, I've been playing a
Talk
lot
about
of
your-
that.
Talk about your free diving and your spear fishing, and then
I
we'll
actually
even
haven't
it out.
gone in a little while, so I really
Ah.
am just a full blown nerd. But I think I want to go just camp for a night pretty soon here and try to catch a fish and cook that up on the fire and stuff like that. But anyways, what I was talking about, I've been playing Lord of the Rings online. It's a lot of fun. It's like I said, well, okay, it's not a WoW reskin, but it is kind of like in that same vein. Like, there's a lot of unique stuff in it as well. But Cole owns a replica Obi-Wan saber, and Newt's the nerd. Thank you, Harry Peppers,
Hey,
for putting that out.
Yeah.
damn it!
And-
I've been found out. What am I to do? My reputation, my precious reputation. Fucking hell.
But yeah, that's basically all I've been playing all the time. I played a little bit of Siege with at gingergiggles_ on
Nice.
Twitter. The lovely lady who did our Twitch and Twitter profile picture for the podcast.
Tibbs, it's a rolling count, and we definitely miss most of them, but we count the big ones.
Yeah, we're talking about the burp counter. If y'all listening want to know what we're talking about, you'll have to come drop by live. But we've got a burp counter going for each of us. Cole's currently at 15, and he's very much in the lead.
Damn straight.
Anyways, yeah. So I've been playing a bit of Siege. I've been having a lot of fun with that, and
Nice.
been playing. I played a bit on console initially, and I've been playing on PC. And actually, it's fun on both.
Holy fuck.
Out the gate.
Well,
That
I'll
wasn't me for the record.
add that to the tally in a second here.
I love how you can just hear the defeat in Newt's voice.
Yeah. It's more just
Especially
that
'cause
it's a
roll
lot
the
of
tape-
work.
Roll the tape, run it back, and you'll see it just comes out of nowhere. I just felt that coming.
Uh,
I felt the need to share it with the world.
It's coming up.
No.
Whoa.
Anyways, that was my week.
Cool.
Oh.
Nice, man.
Do we have anything else we need to talk about?
Puppy Starlight
I
has
don't-
left the building.
Uh-oh.
Ah.
Yeah,
Puppy
one
Newt
job, Starlight.
is sleeping out on the couch right now.
Oh,
Hmm.
jelly.
And Puppy Cole does not exist.
Wah wah.
I
Yet.
want a dog.
They're
Yes,
pretty
yeah.
good.
They're not bad.
They're pretty
Oh, man.
alright.
It feels like it has been a while since we have sat down and actually like just shot the shit for ADP, but
Right.
it's there's so much, like, man, there's fun stuff that everyone's been getting up to that we can talk about. It's
Yeah, I know, right?
We can get into this. It's been a good couple of week and a half,
Yeah, a little
Good
10
couple
days.
week and a
10
half.
days. Actually, exactly 10 days.
10 days, week and a
10
half.
days.
Call it-
We're nothing if not inconsistent. Fuck.
We are consistently inconsistent. What's that Jack Sparrow line?
but you have heard of me.
No. It's the
No, that's the worst
You
part.
can always
They haven't heard of us.
you can always trust the dishonest ones because you know that they'll be dishonest.
Yeah.
So you can
It's
always
the honest ones you should look out for.
yeah,
honestly.
yeah. That's the line. Anyways, hey, should we talk about Destiny or something?
Sure.
Okay, you want to go to TWAB?
To the TWAB.
All right.
Sure.
Oh, I forgot. Nice. Alrighty.
Ugh,
This week at
please refer to
Bungie,
the above GIF in the Discord chat.
we're a little bit late. What is it? Is it Saturday?
It's Sunday.
Oh, it's Sunday. A few
The
days behind.
Lord's Day.
This week at Bungie, a new quest was discovered. Garden Games came to a close. Hunters won the first day, but Titans showed up in force to completely dominate. Warlocks took home the silver, and Hunters still look frabjous. Which
Ox got the silver.
I agree with. Like,
Yeah.
duh.
Fuck hunters.
Final Iron Banner of the season is live this week, and there's a new quest. I don't know a whole lot about this because, like I said, I haven't actually played any Destiny recently. But we are tasked with helping Rasputin to complete Seraph Tower events, and they are currently working on. Well, actually, no, that's
yeah,
not true.
right.
Completed the EDZ. I believe the moon is completed as well, and it's just Isle left, or maybe there's a bit of the
Really?
moon left. I know
Holy
EDZ
fuck.
is done for sure.
Wow.
Oh, wait, already? Because of the multiplier, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause, they bumped it up to a 10 times multiplier on weekends.
On weekends, which
Yeah.
I think they should have let it go for the first week just normal and then adjusted from there, because they just responded to backlash with no data, right?
Pretty
Well,
much, yeah.
Like people were just like, "Wah, we're not going to make it." And then they changed it right away. But a 10 times multiplier is insane.
Mhm.
They said somewhere though, that maybe it was coming up and I just missed it. But basically, they were like, "Oh, hey, we made a miscalculation actually." Like, so I'm kind of okay with it because it's like legitimately like they made a mistake when they were trying to calculate how much time the community needed. Anyways, we've seen some feedback, we've seen feedback that the tower events are too difficult. We have made some server-side changes to lower difficulty of event to help alleviate frustrations and increase your success. We made an error when we calculated how many completions were required. So yesterday we introduced bonus multipliers to help the community's progress and get you all the way onto your next step. So there you go. Okay. They just made some miscalculations.
So is it now going to be a step program, like an initial one, and then we're going to have to hit a higher goal once that happens, or
I don't know.
I mean,
I suspect what's going to happen is it's going to unlock a quest of some sort, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, most likely. God, though, so for those of you who aren't aware, this quest called the Lie coming back, it unlocks Fellwinter's Lie shotgun. So yes. Harry Peppers in the chat, you'll recognize that from D1, which was the broken as fuck sniper dressed as a shotgun back in D1. It was absolutely nuts. So they're bringing it back into Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So should we take bets on how quickly we think it's going to get nerfed?
I don't think it's going to need to.
Is it gonna be release balanced?
Yeah, I think so. Because they're gonna be like, no fucking way can we people are gonna be so upset if it's broken again. I feel like they're just gonna it's probably gonna be just okay.
or are people gonna be upset if it's not broken because they're banking on the lie of Fellwinter's Lie. They're banking on that nostalgic feeling of just tee hee hee pew.
No, I mean they bounced Thorn
described as a
that was it. That was what I was thinking. Thorn was the one I was trying to think. I was like, it came back and it was just it's okay, it's good, but it wasn't.
It's
broken.
Good, yeah.
But I suspect the same thing's gonna happen. Do you?
Nice.
Never mind. I'll look it up later. Okay. Here we're about to get into the meat and bones of the TWAB. Who was that? I missed it.
That was me. That was
cool.
Okay. Remind me after we switch back to the other screen. So this is gonna be the hot and spicy part of the TWAB. So back in February, Luke spoke about upcoming plans for Legendary Gear Infusion. The Destiny dev team has more details on how the system is going to work. These changes are going to be visible starting in Season 11, but won't start impacting Arsenal until Season 12. We want the sandbox to feel interesting, exciting, and dynamic, and to evolve in compelling ways over time. Our weapons are the primary way that players interact with the world, and season over season, we want players to discover new weapons that feel powerful. The changes to the infusion system we're talking about today are designed to promote the following. We want you to more frequently earn and enjoy more powerful standout gear. Right now, if a new legendary weapon isn't better than current best in class, there's no reason to replace it. Nice.
Christ, Starlight.
Okay, I guess I'll just read through this. If a new legendary weapon is better,
I'm tallying in the Discord chat.
the man's running off. The man's running off of coffee fumes and Rona beers alone. This is going to be
coffee fumes. Accidentally left out curry and Rona fumes. Thank you.
Oh, this is going to be a Starlight's just going to fucking explode.
And yes, the curry was dairy based.
Oh, we're going to have a whole different kind of counter after this. Hey, Ginger's in the chat. What's up, Ginger?
Hey, Ginger's in the chat.
Great time to hop in.
Nice.
Okay, if a new legendary weapon is better than the current best in class, we risk power creep or removing challenge from the game. Both above points equally apply to new mods and perks. Powerful weapons can be era defining, but eventually these eras need to end so that new eras can begin. We want strong weapons to have their time in the sun, and whenever possible, we want you to expect and prepare for more powerful gear to cycle out of the end game meta.
That makes sense.
We can't solve this by making weapons that are always better. Pretty self-explanatory. We also want to foster a gradually evolving meta that regularly promotes experimentation and debate. With these goals stated, let's break down how the changes will work. Each legendary weapon and piece of armor will have a max power level it can reach through infusion. Exotics will not have a max power level.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
The max power level for these items will be set at the player power cap attainable 3 seasons after its release season, 4 seasons total. This means all legendary gear has a 1-year span of time during which it can be used in activities where being at or near the player power cap is important. Max power level for these items will be visible in game in Season 11, but no items will be at their max power level at the start of Season 11. This means all your gear will be relevant in all activities during Season 11. You'll be able to see what the max power level is for all your gear and plan accordingly. At the start of Season 12, weapons and armor released in Seasons 1 to 8 will have a max power level at the Season 11 player power cap. Gear from Seasons 9, 10, 11, and 12 will all be infeasible to new player power caps for 1 year after the release. Weapons and armor from the Last Wish and Garden Salvation raids will be granted exceptions that will have a higher max power level. Oh boy. Okay. That's a big wall of text. You guys doing all right over there?
Yeah. I'll put it up. I'll put it back up later.
Do you want to describe what just happened for the Spotify listeners?
I think I want Starlight to describe it, because honestly, I thought I was just doing this.
He had a ball and he just poked it and it fell and I lost my shit. I don't know why it's so funny, but I'm like crying right. It was just the sudden his poke was like a shotgun went off in his hands, and it just made me laugh because he jabbed it so aggressively, and then it just kind of half-heartedly, and I just lost my shit.
Oh fuck, we're gonna have to clip that. But yeah,
sorry.
Really, Starlight?
I don't have any tissues next to my computer. I'm not a pervert.
Well, I call bullshit on that. No, for audio listeners, the chat was
like a man.
The chat was pointing out that the happy birthday sign from April, early April, is still hanging up. So I tried to reach for it, couldn't reach, and I just kind of
never forget
very unceremoniously just kind of popped it off. Yeah. That's all that.
Well, boys, now that you've been paying very close attention to everything that we just talked about, what are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so I have an issue because I busted my ass to get some high stat rolls, and they're not even high stat rolls. They're adequate stat rolls on just the most basic ass of legendary gear, and they're not new. I've been using them for 2 seasons now, which means that I've only got a season and a half left before they're gone. And then I have to, get new stat rolls, and I busted my ass to masterwork the fuck.
Well, no, because the exotics.
Yeah, I'm not talking about exotics. I'm talking about motherfucking legendaries.
Oh, okay. My mistake. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to. Well, let's be fair. I'm nowhere near the light level cap currently. But
yeah, you're like a noob rookie.
Yeah. Hey, I got kills twice in Iron the other day.
Proud of you, champ.
Okay, seriously, there is something moderately gratifying about going in with a 963 light level, like an adjusted 9 with no what's it called? No artifact 963 light level. Because I barely played this season, so I've got 963 across the board. Going into an Iron Banner up against people who are going 10 people who are at 1006, 1006, 1000 plus, and they keep sliding up on me and killing me, and then me finally getting that one kill against them, just be like, yeah, bitch, how does it feel? There's something just super gratifying about getting that one kill where that even though you rolled up to them with your god rolled masterwork perfect paradox with an impact masterwork, hitting them with two fucking giant just shots right to the chest, and then they're their shield broke and they're down to half health, but they were point blank, and then they're just yes, but have you heard of my backhand? And then they just bitch slap you with this little bitchy ass glove and you die. And I'm not a huge fan of that, but it's Iron Banner, so I get it. Light level's important. It's competitive. It's supposed to be competitive. It rewards people who play the game a lot. I'm just not one of those people right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Starlight Standard.
Yeah. So that being said, I am looking forward to getting into the Starlight grind, and that's gonna help me get better
Mhm.
gear, and I'm gonna try and keep
Yeah.
more gear with better stat rolls and infuse that instead of just getting rid of it right away, because let's be real, that's what I've been doing for the last little bit.
Starlight
Anyway,
grind in the chat.
Starlight grind in the chat. I'm gonna be yeah, so look forward to that because I'm gonna start the Starlight grind sometime soon because the season's running down, but I'm gonna hit 100 and I'm gonna live tweet it every time I level up.
Fuck
With
yes.
you know what, Tibbs? Yes, you know what? Hashtag Starlight grind
We'll get this shit
at
trending. Do it.
at ADP Starlight on Twitter. You heard it
How do you
here
spell that?
first. I'm not going to tell you because if you can't spell it on your own, I don't want you to follow me. Anyway,
So new.
uh,
How's that TWAB getting going?
Yeah,
no. So
I really
anyway,
appreciate your thoughts on this, guys.
yes, that is my
Yeah,
thought.
no, I think
That is my thoughts.
so.
That
I think some of it's good. I think some of it's bad. Yeah, you know.
I look forward to getting new things that look pretty as long as I can make them look how I want them to look. Because right now I'm rocking a hella dope, vibrant yellow puffy vest, which is not so bad.
That's
Anyway,
actually something we'll get into. But yeah,
to the TWAB.
We are there.
what? Fuck. You need a
Okay.
spoon for that?
Yep, it actually was really wet.
So,
Ugh.
anyways, okay, here's my issues with this whole situation. Legendary weapons getting sunset is okay. Like, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But it really annoys me that this gear that I've grinded for quite a long time to get the right good stats for the build that I want to make.
Yeah.
And then, not only that, I also then have to grind to masterwork them, and it's fucking hard to get masterwork material. And then it's going to become not useful. So, I'm going to dismantle it, and then I don't get all the masterwork gear back from that, like, all the masterwork material back from it. Like, at least give me back all the stuff I put into it.
Well,
Or
if
just
you,
not
like,
sunset legendary armor. Like, weapons do weapons, but not armor.
I agree with that. I like my armor. I like my stats. I would like the opportunity to get better stats, but with armor you don't run into the same issue as you do with weapons, because they've said the time to kill, if they just kept making weapons that got better and better and better than the previous ones, the time to kill time would go down exponentially.
Yeah.
So what they're worried about, that's why they're sunsetting weapons.
Yeah.
right.
The
Yeah.
same thing doesn't apply to armor, especially under the new Armor 2.0 system. So I agree. I don't see why it's happening to armor. I think it's just so honestly they can like push more ornament sales to get like the better looking version. But if they're keeping legendary ornaments and everything like that, I don't see what the big deal is about just keeping armor around, and like there's no need to sunset it, in my opinion. My throat is raw from that laugh. Really, I'm feeling a little scratchy.
I think the biggest.
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, I was just gonna jump in on that. With this whole sunset, like you've got a good point. Sunset the weapons, yeah, sure, no problem. But sunsetting the armor is a little bit annoying. Do you think we'll see the emergence of something in Eververse where we can pay a certain amount of silver to carry like a set of like a certain set of items through to the next season
No,
past sunsetting?
I don't
don't think
think
that's
so.
no.
I don't
just
think.
because
Like, I think even Bungie would be like, "That is a terrible idea. We will get eaten alive."
yeah,
I would
they're
hope so.
also-
Yeah.
they're going through all of this effort to push the use new things. So why would they go through all this effort with use new things and then
That's
also
actually a good point. Yeah.
and then also introduce a hey, maybe don't use new things for silver,
I'm
maybe? But
honestly,
then,
I'm spitballing here. Like I'm just tossing out
The
Totally.
thoughts
worst
that come
case
to mind,
scenario,
so-
basically.
Yeah, exactly.
totally. But the issue is that they would also be introducing nearly at the same time two mechanics that are silver dependent. That being
Yeah.
converting existing armor sets into ornaments, and also like carrying through armor sets. So
Mhm.
they've announced
That's
one, and
actually a good point.
if
Yeah.
they're both gonna be happening at the same time, and they're both silver mechanics, if you want to call silver a mechanic, then
It's
I
a surprise
think
mechanic.
Yeah, but I think it would have been, if they were thinking about doing that, it would have been released by now, and they would have like gotten some community feedback. So I think
Yeah.
we're just dealt SOL. So it's either they're either going to scrap it down the line because of community feedback, or we're gonna have to
Yeah.
deal. Which I'm
We
okay
could,
with
yeah, we could,
dealing.
I mean,
Like
we can
the
blow.
initial salt will pass.
I
The
think
well
here
seasoned
here
peanut
let me throw out these
in
two
my
things
mouth.
and see if
Die.
this would make you okay with this situation. Okay. I've already forgotten one of them.
Click.
But one of them is, okay, make it easier to achieve masterwork material.
I'm into that.
Yeah. And then I can't remember what the second
Yeah.
one was.
I mean, yeah, Ascended Shard, like enhancement prisms, I'm not too concerned about. It's the Ascendant shards themselves, both like how hard they are to find, and actually the cost of
Yeah.
putting one together through Banshee. I think it was Tibbs that pointed it out to me, exactly how much effort and how many of each material it costs. Like he broke down how many enhancement prisms it takes to get an Ascendant shard, but then exactly how many enhancement cores to get an enhancement prism. It's a whole clusterfuck. But anyway, yeah, I'm spitballing here once again. Let's just blow right past this.
Well, I remember my second point. This would help. This would, I think, help with the armor, but would also solve the problem with the weapons as well. Like people, because people don't want to lose their favorite weapons, which is fair.
Yeah, dude, if I
I
lose
think-
my, I'm
not
losing my last
exotics though. Not exotics though, right?
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
not exotics,
But
I adore my last perdition.
I
so-
straight up use Lotus, just don't have exotics because legendaries are better than sometimes. Anyways,
yeah,
what I was gonna say is, I think one of the biggest issues is that, and I feel like I haven't really seen anybody talking about this. People don't think that there's like, people have learned. They're like, okay, they're gonna take away all this stuff, and then there's gonna be nothing to replace it except for like bland, boring weapons. Like, people have lost faith in Bungie to introduce exciting new weapons. I think that's the problem. I think if they take away all our current weapons, but just dump like a whole shit ton of new awesome ones in our laps, it doesn't mean like being broken, but just being fun to use. I think people will be like, oh, I don't remember what's a broken weapon right now. Recluse? What was Recluse? I don't remember that. I've got this awesome
Recluse isn't broken anymore.
linear fusion rifle, but I mean, like, people won't be so
Arbalest.
upset about losing their favorites if there's new exciting weapons to use.
But also
Yeah.
let's not forget they're saying that it's season based. So you could have, it could just be a seasonal skin on existing weapons. Right? Like
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
we could be, because we got a revamp of Perfect Paradox with spoiler alert, when Saint 14 is rescued from the Infinite Forest.
The really funny thing is that actually is a spoiler for somebody in the chat here.
Oh fuck, sorry. Oh shit, it's been a running joke. I feel like an asshole.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's been a joke. I was the one that was behind. But now I'm
Oh
not.
man,
Now
that
I'm
is-
the
that's
asshole.
fucking funny.
Is this what it's like to be elite? Someone tell me. Yeah, so anyway, so we get the Perfect Paradox in the last season, and like last season? Was it last season? I'm falling behind. These seasons all make no sense.
Yeah, it was last season. Yeah,
Coolio von Julio.
season of
yeah, right, because
Annoying.
we were all very excited.
I think.
Season of the last season. Season of the redacted.
season of the previously redacted.
Yeah. So like, we might just get reskins of existing legendaries, or
Mhm.
reskins of existing, like, do you really think they're going to go through and try and revamp the Phoenix armor from the Crucible and get
Yeah.
get new
Yeah.
Crucible stuff every single season so that it keeps
Not
up?
every season, but they are doing it every year.
Really? So how long is
Yeah,
Phoenix?
So there's gonna be an exotic. Sorry, not exotic. Excuse me. There's going to be a new ornament every season for Crucible, Gambit, and Strikes.
No, that's fine, but
Yeah.
the standard drop armor that you get from increasing your valor, like the Phoenix stuff is the current one.
That's a good point. That's actually a good point.
Which
I don't know.
I'm 100% turning that Phoenix chess piece into an ornament, because that furry Night's Watch ass looking motherfucking chest thing that they got going on. I'm into that. I fuck with that really hard.
So I do
anyway.
agree with all that, but we should keep going with the TWAB because we're
Yeah,
like
we're
two
getting-
sentences in.
Well, this is a
Oh
pretty
boy,
big
we
issue.
are a quarter of the way down.
I
Neil,
was
take us
just
away.
gonna say though, like if it comes around that when the weapon is sunset, it's just that like the loot pool is still the same. It's just that you can't use that roll that you got anymore. I'm gonna be pretty disappointed about that.
Yeah, no, I agree actually on that one.
Okay. Sorry. Let me just see. I didn't read through these ones. I'll just read this quickly, although we kind of said a bit of it. Can I
think-
some questions that you may have. Can I still use gear that has reached its max power level? Yes, you'll always be able to equip and use any piece of gear. So like if you just go into quick play Crucible, you
Yeah.
can use whatever you want. Reaching the player power cap is beneficial, but not strictly required for most activities in Destiny. This applies to armor as well as weapons. Yes, all legendary gear that provides power will have a max power level. In Season 12, armor will no longer have a seasonally rotating 4th mod slot. Instead, it will be a mod slot that accepts mods introduced into the game throughout a full year. We recognize that the current need to replace your armor every 2 to 3 seasons. And hoard armor from past seasons is undesirable. Transmog, which we talked about in TWAB last week, will give you the ability to keep your favorite looks.
Did anybody else understand, like between you two, did anybody else understand the reference of transmogrification?
No, you guys talked about that a little bit last week, and it whooshed for me.
It's not an actual word. It's a Calvin and Hobbes reference. Where,
Oh, is that
where,
where
like-
it's from
like,
originally?
Yeah, there you go, Tibbs. Yeah,
a
Tibbs.
Calvin and
Calvin
Hobbes reference.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
I should
Yeah,
have
it's a
so bad
transmography. He
tattooed
had
on
a
my body.
he had an upside down cardboard box that he labeled the transmogrifier, and he wanted to be so much like Hobbes, so he turned himself into a tiger. Except he just came out as a tiny Calvin-sized tiger. It's just like, well, this isn't what I expected. Anyway, great reference, great comic. But yeah, that's unless I'm completely off base and wrong, which yeah, fucking right.
When gear drops after its debut season, what will its max power level be? It will have the same max power level as it did in the initial release season. Note this is different than gear that is reissued. See next question. Will gear ever have its max power level updated? Not directly, but gear can be reissued in future seasons. These reissued versions will have a new max power level based on the season in which it is reissued. We're going to experiment with how and when gear is reissued into the game throughout year 4.
So that's something that they're going to be experimenting with, which is good to hear. So it's like I said last episode, this is still an ongoing thing. It's still relatively recent since they split from Activision. So
one thing I wondered too, or find funny, is okay, they say this will allow us to create the max power level will allow us to create exciting new gear more frequently without significant concerns of permanent power creep. But in terms of armor, like that, like how does that make armor excite? Like it doesn't really make any sense.
we'll
Anyways,
see.
Sorry, that was some necessary clickety clacks on my end.
oh, I couldn't
Honestly,
hear it.
man,
Actually.
we can't hear a thing.
Yes, the clickety clacks. It's been cured.
Yeah.
My grandfather has been diagnosed with
The
clickety clacks.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So sorry.
Redacted engrams. We spoke a lot about rewards last week. Don't. But still have some more juicy nuggets to share with you on some additional plans we have for next season. Here's creative lead Robbie Stevens with the details.
True, the nuggets.
In Season 11, we're trying something new with how and where you can earn seasonal rewards. So far, every season in Year 3 has followed a formula for the seasonal activity. Vex Offensive, Sundial, Bunker, Seraph Tower.
We gotta get this shit more hype.
Asks for a significant amount of playtime. I don't know why I've decided
Yeah,
Robbie
I'm gonna go
Stevens
off
is
screen
the
and just
most
kill
boring
myself if we
person.
keep up with this pace.
Sounds like Robbie Stevens needs some. You'll see now. I get.
While we believe that new content should be one of the best places to earn new rewards, we also realize that Destiny 2 is a big game. And it can be frustrating to have so much of your playtime dictated by and focused solely on seasonal activities. So in Season 11, seasonal rewards will drop from completing core activities, Strike's Crucible Gambit, as well as basically every other activity.
Yeah.
We want to make engaging with the entire game feel rewarding. Thank you. Okay, we've talked about some of the places where you'll earn Season 11 rewards. Now let's talk about how you can influence those rewards to chase god rolls and high stat armor. Over the last seasons, we've introduced weapon bounties that give you agency, blah blah blah. While addressing bounty fatigue will be an effort that extends beyond year 3. For the upcoming season, we've moved away from weapon bounties as part of that effort. Instead, we're introducing a new type of redacted engram that contains the majority of the Season 11 rewards, and by spending seasonal currency, you can influence the contents of this redacted engram.
So they're going to name
Seasonal
it something
currency.
seasonal related. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, do you think it's going to go through Eververse or it's going to be something else?
I was about to say,
I hope it's
they
through Avenger.
better fucking not do that.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll introduce a new vendor somewhere.
You know what I will say? They will definitely give you the option of buying seasonal currency using silver.
Oh,
I don't-
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think
Really?
so. No. Because this
So-
literally this. Okay, first of all, recently they've been very upfront about how they want to move away from that whole setup.
Oh, and that would be pay to win.
That would
It wouldn't
literally be
automatic-
pay to win.
Yeah. So never
Oh,
mind.
that's a good
I
point,
take,
actually,
I take that back. They will definitely not do that.
Yeah, and if they do, it's suicide.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
Poor Bungie.
again, so much fucking different currencies in this game.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's not that bad. You've got Bright Dust and Silver and tokens. Like,
and
else what else?
legendary
Well, and-
shards
yeah.
and armor materials or weapon parts, sorry, and
Yeah.
other stuff
Oh,
as
God.
well. To clear up
Is it
any
really gonna be that-
confusion.
is it really going to be that much of a burden to add one more though? Like,
No, and I was also thinking, like, playing a lot, like, because I've been playing Lord of the Rings online, and there's light, light skins, or that's bad words. Light armor, sorry, light leather, medium leather, sturdy leather, pristine
daddy leather.
There's ashwood, rowanwood, there's so many different materials. That's like, okay, looking at Destiny materials, it's like, okay, it's not that much actually. To clear up any confusion, let's imagine if we launch this redacted engram in Season of the Worthy. Imagine this engram contained all the Season of the Worthy weapons and armor. Now imagine you could take this engram to a Seraph bunker and spend seasonal currency to focus the contents of this engram so it only contains the 7th Seraph SMG and shotgun. By focusing redacted engrams in Season 11, you can choose your rewards. This includes the ability, once you've earned it, to focus engrams so they only contain Season 11 armor with high stat packages.
Interesting.
That's actually super cool, and I feel like that is kind of in a roundabout way what people have been asking for quite a while, more agency over what they're going to be receiving.
Yeah. It also kind of it feeds into the play your way style that Destiny has kind of shied away from recently.
I hope it'll
Be that
be
on purpose or not.
Yeah, because lots of people love doing nightmare hunts.
I
haven't done
do.
a nightmare
Yeah, I
hunt
guess that
since
is kind of
2019,
actually
so-
yeah, that's kind of the same thing, right? Like on the moon, you could go see Eris what was it? The blood cistern.
No, the Altar of Sorrows.
Altos.
No, that's the
No, that's not right either. The thing next to
No.
Eris, and you could choose which weapon you wanted to grind for.
something lectern enchantment. The
Anyways.
lectern. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just hope that there's still some high end or some end game
Down.
weapons as well. Like they say contained all the Season of the Worthy weapons and armor. Like they got to leave some out of there, right? Like you don't want to have trials gear in Season of the Worthy engrams and stuff like that. You agree with that?
Sorry, I'm replying to something.
Okay.
That would assume that I know what Trials gear is as someone who hasn't been playing Season of the Worthy, so useless.
But
Dude, I couldn't get past the 3-win streak, and I still hate that. That's the thing. To start earning stuff, you have to get the 3 wins in trials.
yeah.
Hey guys, what's a win streak?
Dude, I'll let you know when I find out. Actually, no, I'm fucking good at Crucible. I know
Well-
exactly what a win streak is.
They have the new new weekly bounties and trials, right? That like lets you earn the weapon from
Oh,
the
have they implemented those already?
Oh, actually I don't know. But it's coming some point. um anyways, by focusing
Bad Moontown.
I think I already read that.
Oh fuck.
But yes, I hope there's still like end game activities that will produce end game weapons that you can't receive from just this.
Yeah.
All free players and season pass owners will receive redacted engrams while playing season 11. However, only season pass owners can access the full suite of focusing categories in season 11. That's a good idea. Give people a taste of it, but if you want full access, you have to pay them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And it's like a season's what, $10?
Yeah.
I spend more than that on a
13.49.
Okay, well, still, I spend more than that on a 6-pack of beer sometimes. Like, what am I going to get more enjoyment out of, this 6-pack of beer or this season from Destiny?
Yeah.
Even
What
if you
kind-
come,
What kind of diamond mine you buying your beer at, bud? Fuck. 6-pack of beer for $13.49.
Hey.
you're right there, But can I? Oh boy.
Here is a preview of the redacted engram focusing
Thank
categories.
you.
Season 11 armor focusing reduces the number of rewards in the engram, so it only contains Season 11 armor. Previous season weapon focusing converts the rewards in the engram, so it only contains the 6 weapons that are returning from Season of the Undying Dawn and Worth. Season 11 launches, all players will get 3 focusing categories, and season pass owners will have access to an additional 15. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow.
List of activities that reward redacted engrams. First one, redacted. Second one, redacted. Public events, strikes, gambit, crucible, dungeons, raids, adventures, nightmare hunts, forges, reckoning, menagerie, escalation protocol, blind well. So basically anything. Just go do something and you'll get that reward.
Forges. Fuck yes.
Not patrols, though.
No.
Notably not patrols.
Yeah.
That's one of the redacted parts.
Yeah.
Patrols.
No. It's redacted twice because you get 2. It's redacted twice because you get 2 engrams when you do the redacted event.
What
No.
the?
In
What
addition
kind
to
of
the above
fucking
list,
math are
Yeah,
you
because
working with?
I was on the bench.
I was over there on the redacted. Redacted engrams have a chance to drop when defeating combatants anywhere in the system, similar to legendary engrams. They share the same loot pool as legendary engrams, and when you hit that loot pool, you have a 66% chance to earn a redacted engram and a 34% chance to earn a legendary engram. I'm really tired of saying redacted, guys.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you, man.
Voice.
Thank you for your sacrifice and the effort you put into this podcast, Newt. You are appreciated, and never forget that. Also, nice shirt, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't see it on the webcam.
I'm not wearing my.
Neither am I. We're like for the audio listeners, we all just kind of leaned into frame. Newt's the only one wearing his Guardians for Australia shirt, but we do need to all 3 of us wear that shirt on stream, and
Eventually.
B,
When it's
eventually
clean.
when it's and B, I think we should take a photo somewhere of us all being obviously socially distant, but like we need a profile picture for the Facebook page. And I think something like nothing better would be all 3 of us wearing the Guardians for Australia shirt.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
We can make it happen.
And we can just if you guys aren't comfortable sharing your faces too late, but we could
sharing my faces.
yeah, right, sharing your faces, yeah. Yeah, that's the joke, Starlight. Well done, bud. I'm thinking
Get it.
Yay! Here's a crayon. I'm like, yeah. So I'm thinking we could take like avatars of our characters' main helmets that we use and just kind of like paste
Stick
them
them on
on
there.
top there.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I think we should get this together. We do know a professional photographer, so
Hey guys,
yeah. What's up?
Guardians Heart Charity Initiative raised $788,923.19.
Holy shit! Nicely done. That's awesome.
Okay, hotfix. There's going to be a hotfix.
Hot.
It is going to start on 9 a.m. on Tuesday, May 19th. So 2 days from now.
But I work that day.
I do not. As far as I know. I don't know when I'm going back to
Cool.
work.
Oh, right.
Upcoming resolved
I keep
issues.
forgetting that talking about working is a douchey thing.
Season Pass Small Fire Team XP buffs will now work as intended in this new hotfix. The Worm God Crest Gauntlets will no longer grant
Thank
infinite
God.
5 times burning fists when repeatedly taken on and off. Removing the Winter's Gal Gauntlets will now properly remove all Warlock Sigils perks.
Oh, that's weird.
On Friday, May 8th, a potential fix was implemented for those experiencing Watercress error codes. Since then, we've been closely monitoring reports and have noticed a significant decrease. While we continue to progress towards a resolution, we recommend anyone continuing to experience these errors to report them in our hashtag help forum. We're continuing to monitor increases in beetle, rabbit, beaver, and anteater error codes. So I guess I'm not being mentioned anymore, so that's sad. No more Newt. Some known issues. The Ascendant Champion Triumph is not unlocking for some players. The Enhanced Fusion Rifle Loader, Auto Rifle Loader, and Enhanced Bow Loader mods are not dropping as intended. The Clenched Fist perk for the Stronghold Gauntlets is not working as intended. There you go.
I actually just got a Stronghold
Ornament?
to drop for me like a couple days ago. I was like, "Ooh, Stronghold! Yeah, this could be really useful now that swords are like a meta."
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a weird looking set of gauntlets for Titans. It's like fabric sleeves and a gigantic chunk of metal on your right arm.
Please raise your right arm.
Yeah.
Which arm
Raise
is
your
your
right
right
arm?
one?
Raise your right arm? Yes. For
Oh, yeah.
audio listeners, he doesn't know what his right arm is.
Only what his wrong arm is.
Oh, I thought you said Weast.
So that's the
Crusty
TWAB.
Favorite Beast. Hey, the TWAB.
Okay, we did. We
That's
did it, guys.
that was a
It's,
hefty boy.
That's
Dry.
the biggest one in a while. But I will say the movie of the week.
That's what she
as
said.
As far as just entertaining Titan smut, I will say
Ugh.
movie of the week Velocity is just a Code of the Missile montage. So if you run mid tree Titan striker, then what's wrong with you. You should be running an insurmountable skull for it with top tree. But other than that, like, pretty fun.
No, man. It's all about the Dune Marchers. Are you kidding me? With middle tree striker, Dune Marchers are the way to go.
Oh, fair, because I guess that counts as a melee strike,
yeah,
so you
it does, yeah.
go into it. Okay, fine, because I just got some really good rules on Dune March.
Also, Syntheseps work really well in Crucible if you can get a bunch of enemies together, because the more enemies that are in close proximity, the more damage that your charged melee ability does.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got speaking of which, coming down the pipeline, look for it on Twitter because I've been working. It's been in my head for like 3 weeks, but it's like the greatest only Titan things. Yes, thanks. Hashtag only Titan things from Tea Time Tips. But the one thing that is fantastic, I have a fantastic meme surrounding the ACDO feedback fence.
Oh, do it, man! I love that exotic.
That I know Cole and only Cole is going to love. Everyone else can suck it. Aggressively.
Yikes.
I'm not going to take that any farther. I was about to. I didn't.
Oh, it's a PvP montage. Okay, yeah, and I'm going to watch this later.
Yeah, definitely do. It's pretty good though.
Was there anything else on TWAB that you guys wanted to talk about anymore?
Not really.
We all kind of had very similar experiences with that particular TWAB.
So I think basically, like, we can summarize it as armor, please no. Like,
yeah.
Or just change the grind for masterworking and achieving decent armor.
Yeah.
So that it's
what do you so what do you guys think is positive from that TWAB? What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to the I am looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to the incentive to actually get out and try the new stuff, as opposed to I did a Seraph event, and that was at the very beginning of the season where I was like, do I throw and then but then but the big guy, am I supposed to? No, I throw but I was
Titan
over
Smash.
there in the bunker. But I was over there in the bunker. So yeah, it was very confusing, and I have not done a Seraph event since. But
Yeah.
I do want to get in and try the lie, like to contribute to the lie
Yeah.
quest, mostly because I want to get that shotgun.
Yeah, same here. I'll probably
Um,
contribute too because I fucking hate myself. The guys, the reason we're talking about for those of you who aren't aware, the reason we're talking about this whole the lie quest in such a negative tone is because the Seraph Towers event before the lie quest dropped were difficult to begin. Well, they weren't difficult, but as long as you had enough people doing them, they were very doable. But now Bungie basically made the Seraph Towers event more and more difficult, and you
they
have to
added
have. I think you have to have
hard champions, right? Like
hard,
that's
yeah,
the
like
issue, is that it's
really
champions.
difficult champions to it. But it's also like you had to have at least 6 to 8 people to complete it properly, but they don't have a matchmaking for it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like it's a luck of the draw if you end up with that many people in the same patrol zone, which is like, But I guess if you play it smart and you're in the right area, I don't know, man. I'm so burnt out on the negativity of Destiny, which is why I've actually taken a gigantic break from Destiny the game subreddit. Like I cannot deal with the amount of salt in that subreddit right now. My doctor said I should ingest less salt, and so I unsubscribed from our Destiny the game.
I find I'm not negative towards the Seraph event. I'm just pretty indifferent.
That's fair. That's fair. I feel
which
that.
is almost worse in some ways because it means I just don't really care. Oh, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, so I think I would be looking forward to sunsetting, except I'm just worried that, like, while I think sunsetting is a good thing, I'm worried that what comes after it won't be enough. You know, I feel like I'm worried it'll be a bit more of an empty loot pool and stuff like that. So I'm not really looking forward. I'm hopeful for it, but I'm also nervous about it. But I always look forward to more and more like transmog in this game. Like the more and more they like just move towards like straight just transmog everything. Like that'd be awesome. I would love to have the ability to look however I wanted to in this game.
This is going to be like it's going to take the sci-fi fashion simulator and jack it up to another level, which I'm so excited for because I want to make my Rasputin inspired EXO so badly, and I'm this close. Sorry,
that'll be interesting. I would look at that. That's pretty cool.
I'm this close to it, which, funnily enough, actually, Newt, I was gonna bring this up. You know how I've been like pretty much since Warmind dropped. I've kind of been all about this whole the fact that my are you no okay yeah the fact that
my
like
nose is really itchy from my allergies.
Did you take your antihistamine today?
No, I did not.
Ah, you fool.
I meant to do that before the cast.
you absolute fool. Go and do it right now.
Okay, well, you tell your story first, and then I'll go.
Well, I was gonna say that, like, you definitely know that since Shadowkeep, no, sorry, not Shadowkeep, excuse me, Warmind, I've been trying to build my Exo Titan to be this Rasputin strike guy. Fuck, hold on. This this Rasputin operative for lack of a better term. Yeah. Almost had it. Fuck.
This dude, you know, he's a real guy.
He works.
This buddy, buddy. But yeah, I've been building my this Rasputin-esque aesthetic around my Exo, and I still find that to be fascinating.
Yeah.
For those of you who've been following up with the leaks on the current season, I'm not going to get into it. Tibbs, Rasputin strike guy in all caps.
Look over there. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No.
Here, it's Rasputin strike guy.
Just let's code of the commander, or sorry, code of the missile striker.
just from a distance. Just but yeah, like I was saying, for those of you who've been keeping up with the recent leaks, it's fucking hilarious how pertinent and relevant that is now. But anyway, I'll let you guys look into that if you want, because I'm not going to be the asshole that spoils shit on stream. I'll leave that to Starlight.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm really excited to be able to build the proper aesthetic that I want for my Rasputin strike guy.
You want to know? Here, I got a funny story before we get into our I'll go take my antihistamine and we can get into our lore section of the cast.
Oh no, my lactose pills.
um, but what was this thing? Oh yeah, my funny story. So I already told this to Cole, but Starla, you haven't heard this. So okay, in case anybody listening doesn't know, so in Destiny, I play a female awoken huntress, usually Way of the Trapper or something like, one of the bows.
And
So-
has since D1.
Yeah, so that's my main. Actually, that's not true. Originally, I had a a male human with a pink afro,
Oh, I remember that. Oh,
and
an
he
afro?
was so fucking ugly. But I was like, oh, I'll be able to change it, and then you could never change it. So I ended up deleting that character and redoing my entire character because I was like,
Boy, it would really suck to delete your hunter and lose all that gear. Man, I'm glad that didn't happen to you, Newt.
yeah, I did this thing where we have this thing called a vault, and I took all my gear and I put it in that, and then I deleted
Oh,
my
that's
character.
smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart, man.
Anyways,
Fuck.
so my story. So yeah, so I play a female awoken huntress. So I started playing Lord of the Rings Online, and I played it a long time ago, but I restarted character because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It's been that long. So many different characters that I can play. I could be a champion, I could be a healer, a bard. Like there's like 20 different classes or whatever you want to call them.
You could be a hobbit, you could be a dwarf, you could be
an elf, and I can be a human.
Yeah. Oh, can you play as a Dunedain? Or is that kind of fold in with humans?
I don't think so. Pretty sure no.
I guess that would
so
be
of
more
course
like a
I hop into character creator, and I I end up playing a female elf huntress.
Of course.
So I guess I have a favorite game style.
Apparently.
Or gameplay style. Anyways, that was my story.
Man bear.
I think
Harry
you can even
Peppers,
play a
in chat,
Bjornling. I'm not sure.
A Bjornling? Are you
I'm not
fucking kidding
100%
me?
sure, but I think you can or something.
It's just a really hairy dude with a beer gut.
Yeah, it's just
No,
a
Harry
dwarf
Pepper's
that's that fucking hairy. Everybody thinks it's Bjornling.
Harry Peppers in the chat. Yeah, like your comment of man bear reminds me of no, not the South Park man bear pig reference, but Sir Barrington.
Man bear pig.
Yes.
The like the 4chan green text. For those of you not accustomed with that. Also Hagrid, yes, but look up Sir Barrington and just like click on the first Google Images link you find, and goddamn, it's fucking hilarious. It's a great D&D.
I saw someone with a username in
story.
Lord of the Rings Online that was Lady Barrington. I thought that was clever.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna go take my pills. Cole, do you wanna hop us into the lore?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lore dump. Lore dump. Lore dump.
Lore dump in the chat. Yeah. So basically, everyone, last episode, myself, Newt, Starlight, we all promised that we would look into certain aspects of the game. I believe I said I would look into Eris Morn and what she's doing currently. And Starlight, you said that you would put together an actual timeline for the story within Destiny, right?
I did.
Because we came to the realization that we're not entirely certain how long it's been in game. Even though Destiny 2 has been out for 3 years now, we don't know how long it's been in between the Red War and then Curse of Osiris and like Warmind, yada yada yada, all of that past.
Yep.
And and then Newt, for the life of me, I honestly can't remember what Newt said he was going to do. So forgive me for that.
Wait, you had Eris Morn.
I had Eris Morn, yeah, and Newt had something else. But without further ado, let's hear the timeline on Destiny.
Okay, fine. I wasn't slapping together a quick meme just for laughs. Don't worry about it. I'll go.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want
to, I'm already here. So I'm here. I'm here. The timeline's here. I made a thing. So, do I have to do my best Cole Loremind impersonation while I do?
No, man, you're your own Loremind. You do you.
Boy, can I retire? Okay.
Here it is. Quit while you're at your peak.
Yeah, I peaked long ago because now I'm doing lore.
The boldface line, you know it. Ladies,
So-
I know what the ladies like, and the ladies love
Here,
lore.
wait, I'm gonna do, for those of you who
Oh,
haven't
sorry.
seen the
Sorry.
lore mind episodes.
Wait. Um. They just finished the first step of the Lie quest line.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh,
And now you have to
Oh,
go
fuck
see
this.
Anna on Mars for the next step, which I don't know what that is. It's like
Okay.
happening like right now.
interesting.
Anyways, go ahead.
Ginger, yes, you can, and it's appreciated.
So those of us, oh wait, what happened to my oh no, where did
Oh
it
yeah,
go?
you're
Oh,
you're
there
on
it is.
point, man. There you
Don't
go.
worry, don't worry. I just wanted to make sure that I had my best Cole voice from the can confirm I'm a lady and I like lore. Fine, deal. Thanks, giggles. That's great.
Oh no.
So, if you've watched the Lore Mind podcast episodes that Cole's been doing on the side, audio only, it's on Spotify, edited by Newt masterfully, I might add.
Nice
but-
plug, dude.
Yeah. So, eons past, the entity known only as the Traveler was created to contain the power of the sky, which is just light. The Traveler would travel the universe and bless civilizations with gifts and technology. The Traveler would leave as quickly as it arrived, as it was pursued by the Deep. So the Deep is essentially the darkness, and the sky is an old way of of referring to the light. So in a pre-Sol solar system, so this is before the formation of our solar system. The Hive pact. There's a Hive pact with the Hive make a pact, or the Hive are formed by a pact with the surviving princesses of the Krill. So those three surviving princesses would become Oryx, Savathun, and Zivura.
Jivurath. Yeah.
Yeah. The Hive were said to have had a reign as the most dominant beings in the universe since the worms and the deep for billions of years. So the
Of course.
Hive, yeah. So the
The
Hive are said.
Yeah.
The
worm
Hive are
god-
said to.
worm gods, right?
No. The Hive.
Oh,
like,
okay. My
So
bad.
the Hive, apparently the Hive and the worm gods, like the pact that was made with Oryx, Savathun, and Zivurath, they were the dominant. They were the dominant beings in the universe, and they fed the worms through like conquest and sacrifice, essentially. So for this,
Blood for the blood god.
yeah. So to put this into perspective, it sounds like billions of years. This is a super long time, but Sol and the Nine. So the formation of the solar system, 4.571 billion years ago. I googled it. So Sol and the Nine. The Nine are Cole. Take it away. What are the Nine?
The
Hey,
nine
sorry,
are
real quick.
an-
I just want to say it's not Zol, Sol, like the sun.
Yeah.
I just
Sol,
want to make
sorry.
it sounds like it
Not-
sounds like
not
Zol
Zol.
sometimes.
No,
yeah.
So
Sol is
worm
in the
god,
sun.
yeah.
Sol.
Starlight is
The
referencing
solar
Sol.
system. Not Zol.
It helps if you actually pronounce it as Sol, like
Sol.
better call Saul. Like, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. I'm just saying for like phonetically, but
Anyway.
no. The nine, to my best recollection, they are an extra dimensional consciousness.
Primordial beings, yeah.
Primordial
essentially.
beings, essentially. Yeah, that they saw what was happening beyond the veil, that like in our universe, and they wanted to try.
But you know how they were formed? Like what they're formed by? Why they're called the Nine?
No, actually, you know what? I don't.
So
Educate us.
the primordial beings were created. These
I'm
primordial
so
beings were
proud.
created by the energy from the gravity of the sun and its major planets. So
Oh, of course, the nine.
so you know what that means? Pluto is not part of the Nine, and we need to talk to Bungie about this shit because Pluto is a motherfucking planet.
Not anymore.
I
It's not.
I say so.
No,
And I'm-
Starlight's
I mean,
views
no,
are
I'm
not
not- I'm not even
condoned by the,
NASA shit.
I'm-
the
I'm
Other
the
Desert
Lord-
podcast overall.
No,
I'm
I'm not even talking about the NASA shit. It's the pyramid ships fucking destroyed Pluto.
Fine. Anyway, so
Sorry, go ahead, Starlight.
so 4.571 billion years ago, with the formation of the Nine, or the planets and the sun, the primordial beings came into existence. As usual, like mostly just passive watchers, like for now, essentially.
We can.
But
There's a whole. Yeah,
it's a
we can-
whole thing. Anyway, we'll talk to Zur and he'll tell us. So in recent history, so there's no real timeline for this, but the Fallen are created by they were a race known as the Elixni that were blessed by the Traveler, and they got great, amazing advancements. Then the Traveler pieced the fuck out because the Deep was coming, and then all of the houses fell to infighting, so they're known as the Fallen, and they're currently attempting to regain their position as the Traveler's most chosen. So, in the 21st century, soul, yes, burp, thank you. Oh, hey, can we get an update on those burp counters, by the way? Newt, you told us to remind you.
You say you put it in Discord?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all counted up in Discord.
Okay. Who was that just now?
That was Cole.
Cool.
So in the 21st century, the Traveler arrives and begins to terraform Jupiter, Mercury, and Venus. Ares 1, the mission, intercepts the Traveler as it arrives on Mars, and this starts the golden age of humanity. New beings begin to appear on worlds that the Traveler has visited, such as the Ahumkara, the Wish Dragons. Wish dragons are not a primordial, like I thought, like, oh, wish dragons, they've been around forever. No, wish dragons are like since the 21st century.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
wish dragons are new. Like unless they like somehow like came from, it's stated that they came from worlds that the Traveler had visited. It's unclear in the timeline whether or not the Ahumkara, it could just be that they were discovered in the 21st century, or if they were actually like born as a race on one of the new worlds. So humanity also discovers ancient ruins of the Vex on Venus, and we get the Ishtar Collective developing Engram's Exos and the Warmind Project, which is also part of the Clovis Bray. Clovis Bray did the Warmind Project.
There you go.
I know. It was supposed to say Ishtar Collective / Clovis Bray, but
Gotcha. Yeah.
Anyway, then there's a huge array of vast colonization and the expansion. So the vast colonization was supposed to be to move humanity throughout the stars, but it also included the
Exodus
expansion
Black, Exodus Green,
and the expansion of the Siva project and the Black Armory Forges. So that's how all of those things got to these different planets, was this huge vast colonization. So approximately 500 years before Destiny 1 was the time of the collapse. So we don't know how long the Golden Age was, but we know that it ended 500 years before Destiny 1. So
question for you, Starla, because you're the one that put this together. Would you consider the collapse to be like year 0 or the formation of the Vanguard?
Well, the Vanguard is really like a piggyback. The Vanguard's a piggyback on top of like a billion other things that I'm gonna touch on if you just let me continue.
My bad. Sorry.
I feel like the collapse would be a good year 0 to kind of say, because that spawns our Dark Age, like post collapse. So the Deep is detected by Rasputin at the edge of the solar system. Traveler was in the middle of terraforming Io and was just like, oh shit, I'm out, and like leaves, goes straight to Earth. The Vex take this as an opportunity to take over Mercury. Rasputin starts to fight the darkness as well as he can.
Fucking right he does.
And then Rasputin begins to realize that defeat and perhaps extinction is inevitable. Then the Traveler miraculously chooses to stay.
Still up for debate.
Yeah, so the Traveler chooses to stay and pushes back the darkness and creates the ghosts. The singularity from the Traveler's light forms, and the Awoken are pushed into their own pocket universe, which time travels at an accelerated rate in this pocket universe. So that's why the Awoken are such a good analogy for elves, because even though they're immortal and they've lived thousands of years, to the outside world only a couple hundred years have passed, but they have 2,000 years of history in there. I'm getting to that. Anyway, that's later. That's in 300 to 200 years before Destiny. I'm using
hours later.
Yeah, I'm using BD as my timeline, so before Destiny 1, essentially. So for the years 500 to 400 BD, we have the Dark Age. So we get the Risen Warlords reign through acts of terror and awe. the Fallen have arrived on Earth and began to terrorize the survivors of humanity. I've seen dregs eating children.
Nice.
And then
Nicely done.
then the Cabal take over Mars and like mostly keep to themselves, allegedly. Like apparently there was like not a lot of aggression at the beginning.
Which
Then
is odd for the Cabal, but yeah.
yeah, so then 300 to 400 or sorry, 400 to 300 years before Destiny, the Iron Lords arise. So this is after like 100 years of the risen warlords reigning through terror and awe. The Iron Lords start to use their immortality to pursue peace and justice, which starts with the culmination of which is the formation of a budding civilization at this point. Not yet a city, but a budding civilization beneath the shadow of the Traveler. Also, Rasputin wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and we all know how that ends.
Yeah.
So approximately 300 to 200 years before Destiny, the Awoken Empire. So the Awoken returned from their pocket universe after thousands of years in their own reality, while only a few centuries have passed in the rest of the solar system. Some Awoken, like benevolent elvish figures, they share a lot of like developed technology. Yo,
May real quick, I was actually not aware that time was accelerated within
yeah,
the Awoken Pocket universe, which makes
yeah.
so much more sense.
Which is it's why they're such a good analogy for elves in
It's
this
also
case.
interesting because I believe all but Marasov had no
Well-
recollection of the what would happen prior to the creation of their pocket universe.
Yeah.
So it to them like that's their history, like their whole
Yeah.
society is what was
Well,
happening in those
is-
2,000 years.
And because they're essentially immortal on their own, they have lived for like they have a 2,000-year memory. Some shit's gonna slip through the cracks, like what happened before.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you're gonna keep the 2,000 years of advancement and like mass civilization. You're not gonna keep a ton of like the hey, remember that time I used to mop the spaceship? That was cool. Like so the Awoken, some share technology with Earth, others settle on the reef. Aldrin Sov is like immediately sent out by his sister. Fuck that guy.
No, but before he got corrupted, Aldrin was
Yeah,
pretty
I
cool,
know.
actually.
But to be fair, this is kind of the thing. He's an
Spoilers.
instrument of his he's an instrument of his own corruption. So he returns to the like he goes on an expedition into the new universe and returns to Marasov with a baby Ahamkara named Riven. So
Just
uh
a wee little baby ribbon.
yeah, just a wee little baby. So then Marasov and Riven are just like, hey, you want to build the dreaming city? So they do that. And then
I want to see
for
somebody animate this. This is
yeah,
this is
right.
fucking awesome. Starlight, for the record, I just have to interject. I'm loving this so far.
Oh,
This
good
is
because
so
we're at
good.
we're at the end. Um,
Oh.
so then 200 for the last 200 years prior to Destiny 1 is the first city age. So, well, okay, so it's broken up into two, the first city age and the second city age, where there's the Battle of Six Fronts, which was the Battle of Six Fronts, which led to the formation of the Vanguard,
Yep.
the original Vanguard.
As well as
At
the
which
formation of the Firebreak Order.
at which there were six parts of the wall left to be completed. So the walls of the city were going up and they needed to defend an onslaught of fallen attackers while so a lot of legends were made, like Shaxx got his like time in the sun. Like all of the original Vanguard were just like blasting shit. It was great.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just started blasting.
Blast.
Um,
Just a gigantic banner for the Vanguard. The old
and
Vanguard.
so then 200 years to like to 200 years before Destiny to now is spanning that 200-year gap was the first city age, so the formation of the city, the Battle of Six Fronts, the formation of the Guardians, as well as the formation of the Vanguard, which spawned us into the second city age. We begin Destiny 1 in what's known as the second city age, which is approximately 500 years post collapse. So
Okay.
the Guardian rises 500 years post collapse.
The birth of the metaphorical space Jesus.
The
No,
Guardian.
not Anakin Skywalker, but yeah.
A pretty good analogy for them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
so past that,
so prior to the collapse, which we don't know, it's like it's interesting to think about because like let's just say let's draw an analogy between the Hive, who
mhm,
were blessed by they were blessed by the worm gods in a very
yeah,
similar way that we were blessed by the Traveler.
yep,
Um, and they reigned superior for billions of years. Like, so it's interesting to think about um, the possibility that like such a huge amount of time could have potentially happened. Uh, could have happened between the Traveler blessing us. So there, just because there's no sense of time between the 21st century of Soul or the 21st century and Soul, where the Traveler arrives in our solar system,
yep,
and uh, the time when the collapse happens, which is 500 years before Destiny 1.
right,
But at the same time, if a large amount of time had passed, we would have more information about future generations of Clovis Gray, like future generations of Grays, family names that are known to
Gray,
be
for the
active
record.
during, family, like family names that are known to be active throughout the Golden Age. We would have a greater amount of time. Um, we would have a greater record of families. So I'd like to think that it's possible because it said that one of the blessings that I didn't talk about, but one of the blessings of the Golden Age of humanity was that human lifetimes tripling
Yeah.
were common. So if we're saying that 3 generations passed, and that's generous because we only have really 2 generations of Brays to talk about
Right.
or I mean, they were like the ones that we're talking about were resurrected, but
Right.
like anyway, so we really
Who's
only
to
had
say
like
they didn't have the money to pay for
yeah.
more? Yeah.
So but we only had like 2 or 3 generations of Brays during the Golden Age,
Yeah,
which
that's true.
means so if we're going 80, like a rough approximation of 80 years, that's 240 years per lifespan. If you have a kid halfway through your life, which you probably are going to have it much sooner. So
Yeah.
like generously, it could have been the golden age of man could have been anywhere from less than 100 years to upwards of like 600.
So we're not certain. Is
Yeah.
there's
We
still
can't
no there's
we can't
after all of
tell
this,
we
there
can't
aren't
tell
any
how we
definitive
can't tell
numbers.
how long the golden age was
Fuck!
because of the advancement of technology, but what we can tell is that we know when the collapse happened and we have a pretty good record
Yeah.
of what happened post collapse.
And we know when our guardian rose. So my question is, do we have any definite numbers for for each campaign dropping? For each like in Destiny
Yes, but
1 and
I
Destiny
only
2.
there were a few but I didn't really go into that. I just went up to the Guardian Rising
That's
because
fair. Yeah.
I know a few um like there was one campaign back in Destiny 1. I think it was Rise of Iron, and the one
Yep.
just was Trials right before Rise of Iron, like Trials of Osiris, like that.
You'll have to ask New, and honestly, I have to use the washroom
Okay,
real
but
bad, so I'll be right back.
someone said someone on the official Destiny timeline mentioned that it was like only a year had passed between uh Rise of Iron and a separate season or event that had come out.
Like prior to Rise of Iron.
Yeah, so
I don't remember.
from what I've had, it says that like in between seasons, like in between massive events,
Like DLCs, you mean?
yeah, like DLCs. In between DLCs, it was like a year, but at that point, I think we can just apply real time, unless it's explicitly stated in game. I think we just need to apply real time because we have seasonal events that go in real time, right? Like we have the dawning,
Yeah.
so we need to go. If the Guardian's been risen, if the Guardian has risen 500 years post collapse, and it's how many like when was Destiny 1 released, because we could probably just go off that.
September 9th, 2014.
Yeah, so we're looking at 506 years. post collapse, essentially. That's what we're looking at. So we're in the year 506 of the Destiny universe if you count post collapse, or if you count the collapse as Jesus getting crucified. Whereas if a giant spherical extraterrestrial being getting nuked by a AI is a crucifixion. But that's pretty close, you know?
Yeah. Potato,
Yeah.
tomato.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I got. New, why don't you jump into your lore, though, because I am interested.
Yeah. And because Cole is peeing right now.
Yeah, it's also that.
Okay. So what I was in charge of looking up it was a pretty simple question, actually. It was just like, I was wondering if there was any information on, like, when the Hive arrived at the moon, like, why did they go to the moon? Because, the pyramid's there. So I was wondering, was it because they knew the pyramid was there, or was there some other reason? And basically the answer is, doesn't really say anywhere whether or not they knew about the pyramid, which makes sense because, obviously humanity didn't know about it. So it doesn't say if there was any other reason for it as well. It just says that Crota came to the solar system, and the reason he came here was because he was chasing Traveler. He was sent after the Traveler by his father, Oryx. So unfortunately, the answer to that question as to whether or not the Hive knew about the pyramid is a little gray still. But I came across a number of interesting things that I thought I would mention. The first one is very weird in that I'll have to find it again. Sorry, just 1 second. There it is. So this is just straight weird. It says that after the whole the Red War incident, and Gaul was defeated.
Pussy ass bitch.
Yeah. At some point, it doesn't say when exactly. It says, and this is on Destinypedia, like the Destiny Wikipedia. It says, during a patrol, a guardian by the name of Fenchurch Everest found an unknown object lodged in the chest of a thrall on Luna that caused hallucinations when picked up, described as sharp, dark, and slippery. And then it just goes on to say the arrival of the Drifter and Gabbit, blah, 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 blah. And, like, that's just thrown in there, and they don't give any, like, source or anything like that. And I was going fucking crazy trying to figure out, like, I couldn't find the source of this anywhere. I went through Ishtar Collective. I just Googled it. I went through, like, all the Fenchurch stuff. I ended up messaging Matt, aka Mylan Games.
No shit.
On Twitter. And I was like, dude, this is driving me crazy. You gotta help. Like, where's the source on this? And he was like, I don't remember that anywhere. Try Ishtar. And I was like, oh, I've already done that. I wonder. Okay, here's the two things that I think it might be. It might be that it's on like a collector's merchandise, like a physical copy of something, and so it's you would think it would still be online somewhere, but maybe it's just like, because like there was one thing that like was sent out a long time ago where it was like it was postcards sent from Fenchurch to Tess Everest, and it wasn't on any of those, but maybe there was something else like that, that he mentions it. Or this is funny. There is simultaneously never thought this would happen, and yet can see no other why this wouldn't be a thing. There is apparently fan fiction that is Evangelion Destiny crossover. Neon Genesis Evangelion Destiny crossover. So I always wonder if maybe someone read a bit from that and was like, "Oh, that's cool," and like, because it involves Fenchurch. Like Fenchurch is in this crossover, so I always wonder if that's what it's from. But anyways,
I wonder. Sorry, what was the quote again? Because I think I missed that.
During a patrol, a guardian by the name of Fenchurch Everest found an unknown object lodged in the chest of a thrall on Luna that caused hallucinations when picked up, described as sharp, dark, and slippery. Which,
an object lodged in the chest of
Which the first thing that I thought of was
A worm.
no, when oh, I guess maybe it could be a worm. I don't think of a worm as sharp though. I was thinking of the when fucking Eris Morn, her rock gets corrupted by that statue,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it turns dark and spiky and
It's
and it looks
smooth,
like
though, isn't it?
liquid, so it could be slippery.
Yeah. It looks like liquid mercury. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my thing, but I can't find the source of that anywhere. It's driving me
Really?
crazy. So if anybody listening knows, like, if it has seen that
Please,
somewhere,
yeah.
but I couldn't find it on Ishtar or anything like that. So,
Weird.
okay. So the second thing that I found very interesting involves
But
the.
that,
Sorry.
to be fair, I'll jump in real quick as a I guess the resident Evangelion guy. I mean, my brother showed me Evangelion, and it's a hell of a show, but that does very much sound like a what are the
Oh, sorry,
cores
guys, that
of
was
the
probably
angels
bad.
called?
Sorry.
What are the cores of the angels in
Oh fuck!
Evangelion
I have no
called?
idea.
Yeah, but it sounds like one of those. Yeah.
Um. Okay. So the other thing that I found interesting involves the first light lunar installation, and what I find interesting about this is it really helps us with a little bit of um reading into some words, helps us kind of figure out when the pyramid was probably on the moon. So the first light
On
lunar
or in?
installation was like, sorry, what were you saying?
Sorry,
When
I
the
think it might
pyramid
be
arrived at the moon,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
So the first light lunar installation was a facility built on the moon by Aeronautics of China during the Golden Age. It's a massive accelerator designed to launch cargo to colonies across the solar system. By the time of the City Age, the facility was under occupation by the fallen House of Exile and had suffered extensive damage from the construction of the Hive's Hellmouth Fortress.
So that was approximately 200 years before Destiny 1.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so let me
Oh,
see.
fuck's sake.
What's up? You good?
Sorry, guys. If you can hear me, my Discord has 100% crashed. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, we can still hear you, but
Oh,
okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and mute him so we can't hear him swearing in the background.
random cussing.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, we're back. It's good.
He's back.
Oh, he's
I
back?
can hear him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will unmute him.
Da, da, da,
No, he's still frozen. He's still frozen on my screen.
Oh, are you? Oh.
Yeah, he's gone. Okay. Jeez. Okay, what am I talking about again? Okay, so
The City Age.
yeah. Let me just see here. Okay, so this is one thing that I want to say. Okay, so what was once an unassuming exobotany laboratory? This is talking about the first light lunar site. Laboratory complex turned into ringside seats to the end of the world during the collapse. Immense fissures in the moon's crust spew a sickly yellow miasma and hint at the utter destruction going on deep beneath the surface. Whatever the Hive are up to, they've been at it a long time, and they're not overly concerned with keeping Luna in one piece. Okay, he's back.
Ooh. Hey, look who's back.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank God. Okay.
Okay, so I'll read that again for you. Okay, so first light, the
Yeah, let's do it.
lunar site. This is from a location grimoire, I believe. So what was once an unassuming exobotany laboratory complex turned into ringside seats to the end of the world during the collapse. Immense fissures in the moon's crust spew a sickly yellow miasma and hint at the utter destruction going on deep beneath the surface. Whatever the Hive are up to, they've been at it a long time, and they're not overly concerned with keeping Luna in one piece. Okay, so we know that at the point of the collapse, it's most likely that the laboratory became unusable to average humans, and anybody that was in there was probably dead, right?
Just yellow caution tape, and that's it.
Yeah, like we can agree on that, right? Like there probably wasn't anybody left after that.
No.
Okay, so this is the last known records from Lunar Station First Light, which is the same station. And this is why I pointed out. I don't think that there was that the last known records must have been before that event, right? Like you would think so.
Yeah.
Okay,
23. Holy.
23. What?
Yeah,
Oh,
boys
his
on
birth.
top with the numbers. Anyway,
Oh.
sorry. I don't want to
Um,
distract you. What Newt's saying here.
Okay, so this is a ghost fragment. The Ocean of Storms 2. So this is a quote from someone in that or near that first light site. The tunnels were geologic in nature, or had to be. That's what we thought until 12 hours into the second sublunar expedition when we found the bones. A single long rib cage, the size of an aircraft fuselage. The
So a
living
worm.
creatures themselves we found
Yep.
100 meters down. They might have been worms if worms had scales and teeth and moved more quickly than a man could. June died first, and then Luli. Bad deaths. Deaths not worth thinking about, and so I don't. As I wander these tunnels, lost, waiting to run out of oxygen. Will it hurt, I wonder, that final sleep when it comes, the sleep that isn't sleep? Again, this is all making me think that these must be average humans, right? Like these aren't
Yeah.
guardians.
No. If they're worried about oxygen death, yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Starlight, that skeleton you saw in the
Pit of Heresy.
Sorry?
Pit
The
of
Pit of
Heresy?
Heresy.
Yeah.
The Pit of Heresy dungeon. That's what they were talking about.
Okay.
Oh.
But then everything on the moon is named for
Right. It's a big boy.
Yeah.
but everything on the moon is named for what it's not. Have you noticed? The Sea of Serenity, Ocean of Storms, the Sea of Rains. It's only fitting. In the tunnels, though, we found things that were exactly what they were. And so now I name them thus. Mark them well for if this recording is found. The Circle of Bones, the Chamber of Night. One does not walk amid those dark tunnels and not lose something. They say that to look out upon the ocean is to feel
My keys.
small, but to walk in these caverns is to feel your grasp on reality slipping. Again, this
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, everything they keep saying just makes me think that these are not guardians, right? Like guardians are usually a little bit stronger in mentality and stuff like they're used to high stress situations.
I think these people are more akin to
like
Project
Taikonauts.
Ares.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Taikonauts and everything. Yeah.
There's no returning to what you were before, a believer of science and the fundamental rationality of the universe, not after seeing those worms. But here now, at the bottom, I have found the other side of the nightmare. Like waking from a dream, only to realize you were still asleep. Perhaps my oxygen is getting low. Yes, I can see it. Hypoxia is already setting in. The thing before me is like myself, partly alive and partly not. An ossified afterbirth, pulsating tumor. It lays in a crater of its own making, dark and jagged. So here I'll sit and lay me down. I see a doorway, and within, the death-white egg cases of nightmares yet to come. And glad I am to miss it.
Fuck.
So, when this fragment first came out,
when
people were saying...
When did that fragment drop?
Hang on, I'll have to look.
Sorry, because I think we did some reference for when
Can
they
we just say darkness and jagged? It's a Dorito, right? Like...
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, so hang on. So people were initially saying that they thought this was the anomaly, which is on the moon, which was a Crucible map in PvE, or a PvP map in Destiny 1. And documents recovered on site listed as research station is only K1. Have come to known as the anomaly. Attempts to scan the anomaly itself have proven futile. Reports suggest that those spent time and proximity to the anomaly reported symptoms of insomnia, some so severe that required hospitalization. There was also hallucinations and stuff like that, so general Dorito ship stuff. But now, especially with the recent reveal of the pyramid ship, I would say that the Ocean of Storms ghost fragment of the person under the lunar station is talking about the Dorito ship, which that grimoire, that ghost fragment came out in the Taken King.
Damn.
Really?
Damn,
So-
they plan ahead.
So we can probably
This is
say
Bungie, man. Of course they plan ahead.
so. Okay, so this is based on a few assumptions, but I think they're pretty solid assumptions in that. Okay, these people were there at least before the collapse, or maybe around the same time, and they were forced to go down into the tunnels, or they were just trying to get the fuck out of there, and they ended up in the wrong spot. But it's got to be around at least before or around the time of the collapse, right? And I think that's got to be the pyramid. So we know the pyramid, assuming a few things. The pyramid was there at the time of the collapse.
Yeah.
Which would be in line of it being a scout ship for the deep.
So
Right.
that brings two
Which-
things to my memory.
How
not
did
memory,
it slip? How did it slip past Rasputin? Is that one of them?
Sorry.
Yeah.
That is, I'd say that's one of them. So you just asked, how did it slip past Rasputin? Also, a gigantic shout out to those of you who are still here in the chat. Thank you very much. I also knew I did not want to interrupt you, in what you were saying there, because I think you were on a bit of a roll.
Oh no, that was about it.
That was it. Okay, because this brings two things to thought. So, given this evidence, it's very clear that this pyramid ship that's sunken in the moon has been there before the collapse. Yes?
Yeah, I
How
Make-
long?
Based on those pieces. Yeah, I think
It's
so.
possible. Yeah. So here's what I think. Given the fact that it's sci-fi and ships can create their own artificial gravity,
Oh yes.
do you think that ship has been here since the creation of the solar system? Do you think that the moon was created around the pyramid ship?
No, I don't think so actually,
wouldn't-
because
would
of
be
this
deeper,
Grimoire card.
right? Yeah,
It says in a crater of its own making.
implying that there was
Oh.
something for it to crater.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I completely missed that. Well, that throws my second theory right out the window. I was gonna say, what could be in the depths of Terra?
Right. That would be cool. But well, I mean, in the depths of Terra is lava.
Yeah,
As far as we know,
Yeah.
to the primitive drilling and scientific teams of the 21st century,
yeah, but we also
they-
went through a golden age that allowed us to find resources to make faster than light travel.
oh,
So I think
shit,
I
you're
think
right, yeah.
Yeah, so I think we would have been like, hey, let's point some of this technology at things that we already know what we're doing with and see how we can improve it. I think one of those things would be understanding like a lot of people what's the saying, like, in order to understand the stars, like, look at your feet, and like that's a whole meteor
Yeah,
thing.
all right,
Like,
yeah.
you discover like you can study a lot by space by studying what's crash landed on Earth.
Okay, fair
So
enough.
So I feel like if we suddenly come into contact with this massive extra terrestrial being, we're gonna be like other things, maybe.
Maybe other things.
Yeah.
No, Tibbs said, I keep hearing quote unquote Doritos, and I think he doesn't quite understand what that means.
Black
Tibbs,
chili heat Doritos.
yeah, for fuck's sake, Starlight. What we mean when we say Doritos, it's a very diluted, distilled version of the term of the pyramid ships, which in turn becomes was it Doom Doritos? It's like Doom, like
Danger
Doom,
Doritos.
Danger Doritos, like Doom
Yeah.
ships. What the fuck you want to call them?
They're triangles,
They're,
okay?
they're big black triangles, and it's like basic shape shit. And
BBT.
when we say Doritos, we don't mean a bag of chips that is influencing the Hive.
Yeah. Don't get excited.
I mean, Doritos are literally sitting on a gigantic gold mine of marketing, but
Right? Oh, can you imagine if they did like sweet chili heat, but it was sweet chili heat with Doritos on the front?
sweet chili death.
It's a
But yeah.
common vernacular in the ADP universe, okay, Tibbs? This is
No, Tibbs, actually, yeah, if you mention like capital D Doritos in like any of the Reddit threads, then yeah, they'll know what you're talking about. But boys, can I just say, how goddamn proud I am of the two of you with the very clear amount of research you've both put into
Oh
your
man.
subjects. I just want to say I'm super proud of you both, and I just I'm super happy to see all of this information that you guys are bringing to the forefront. It's really nice. So
I had a
thank
whole
you.
Google Doc and everything. It was yeah, it
But
was the
yeah,
whole thing. No, it was fun. It also I kind of like I was going super deep into it, so I kind of had to call it quits after I got to we hit Destiny 1 and I learned a lot, but the timeline that I was looking into like went on to explain all of those things like post D1, like a post D1 timeline. So
yep,
maybe that's my homework. Maybe I finish up the other half of the timeline. Like, where are we now?
yeah.
Because we
So like,
while you were glitched out, we had mentioned that because we have real time because we have real time events that are going on in the universe in the in game essentially, we
yeah,
need to treat the game as if it was running in real time.
that was my question. Like, do we take like the release of each of these things, each of the expansions as real time? Like Destiny 2 has it's been 3 years since the Red
Mhm.
War. I guess that would kind of make sense.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I'll look into it more, and honestly,
Yeah,
if it's another really long lore tab that I go into and it's a whole thing, then whatever. But if it's just like oh yeah, we're like we oh by the way, we estimated like six
yeah.
years is
Okay,
our
yeah.
from so we're in like the year 506 right now is what we're thinking.
Can I just throw out a gigantic thank you to Harry Peppers in the chat?
Mhm.
Thanks, man. We do our absolute best for three Canadian boys talking shit about talking shit about a video game. We do our
And
goddamn
each
best, man.
other.
Oh, that's all you. But no, the support is appreciated. So thanks, man.
That's why you put me in the middle so I can poke equal fun in equal
Yeah.
directions. And I definitely don't favor one side over the other. Uh,
It's
the,
all in fun.
for anyone who followed the Twitter link that I posted, treat yourself to a fantastic meme,
That's not even his ego
courtesy of
talking.
my brain.
It is generally one of the
Courtesy of my
best Destiny memes I've seen in a very fucking long time. It's anyway. So, do you guys want to hear my subject, or should we? Oh, that's a good crack. Should we? What do you think?
good crack.
All right, I can probably try and condense this down because I realize that we've been going for a little while
Oh
now.
Yeah,
But
we're going pretty
we've
long.
gone off the rails.
new before I move to my subject, could you like do like very quickly? Do we still know why the pyramid ship is embedded in the moon?
Watching,
I didn't see anything about
waiting.
that anywhere. I mean, it's
Yeah,
possible I missed it, but I would think if I would come across that,
yeah,
on my ways through the lore.
and
But
all
I'll
that.
double check
Yeah.
and come back if
I
I
feel
find anything. I'll mention it next week. But I suspect there.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, maybe.
It's kind of
I
like
feel
like I said, like my original question was, did the Hive go to the moon because of the pyramid? Like, did they know it was there?
Right.
And that answer is still we don't know. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know why they went there. Those were just things that I came across in my searches. I
Right.
was like, holy fuck, this is awesome.
We
I
just know
also
that the Hive are drawing power from the ship.
yeah, I also came into pretty much the exact same like kind of a parallel conclusion while I was doing my timeline. It was like the Hive showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it was
it's
just
because
like
they were
accept
chasing
it,
the
move on.
traveler.
Yeah.
Nice
But like
place,
whether or
bitch.
not they knew the pyramid was there, we don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then the interesting thing was it was just like also the Cabal are here because apparently everyone like the Vex were shooting off, the Fallen showed up, like the Cabal are just like us too, stupid little space turtles.
Also, just the most indirect reference to Space Marines in all of sci-fi, and somehow Bungie still hasn't been sued by Games Workshop. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
spot
it's
on.
yeah.
They look like grunts on steroids, right?
They do. They really
Like
do.
especially Gaul. Gaul looks like a grunt that you just like punched his face mask off of
Yeah.
like one too many times.
No, you're thinking of Gull's second hand.
No, I was thinking Gaul looks like he
Both.
still has his mask on, but yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. But yeah, should I segue into
Well,
my research?
I was gonna ask you, like, do you want to condense it or do you want to save it for next week?
Yeah.
and just go
And,
full
well,
in depth.
next week is in like a couple of days from now, but
Yeah, also a couple days because I'm so keen to keep this going. But
oh, for sure.
um,
When we have so many lore
uh,
tabs in such a short quote unquote episode.
yeah, right. Honestly, New, you're the host. You make the call here because I'm down with either.
How about chat? Berry Pepper, Tibbs, Ginger, if you're still here. Real time sloth. Holy fuck,
Gall
sloth.
looks like Tom Hardy playing a grunt. Oh fuck! I want to see this.
Gall looks like an avocado. Gall looks like an avocado. Fucked an older, riper avocado.
No, see, that's just Deadpool.
Yeah, but
Hey,
still
so we just got followed by Real Time Sloth.
Hey, thanks, real time sloth.
Yo, what's up, Sloth? How you doing?
Sloth, I don't know if you're listening, but obviously these two don't know who you are, else they'd be more starstruck. Anyways, chat. Do you want us to keep going and for Cole to summarize his lore concerning something? I don't know what. Oh, Eris Morn. Or should we save it and go in depth next week? But obviously there's going to be a bit of delay. So while we're waiting, Cole, do you want to plug your thing? Okay, so on the Another Destiny podcast
Please.
syndicate.
Please let me have this.
Okay.
Tibbs
Tibbs is saying he wants the full version next week. So,
but I'll still plug what's been going on sort of behind the scenes. Recently I've taken up to transcribing different lore books in Destiny to an audio format, very easy listening, like shorter clips, like versus the original mothership of the ADP podcast, which is like an hour and a half, closing in on 2 hours plus of content.
On 2 hours.
It's called Lore Mind, and what I'm doing is I am telling the stories of Destiny that have been written by Bungie, the writers of Bungie, and reading it word for word on a podcast format, so it's easier listening for you guys, and hopefully in a little bit of a more dulcet tone than you're used to. But currently, I've been working through the Black Armory lore book, which has been so much fun, and we're 2 episodes in right now, so it's still very, very much in its infancy. And so I've been reading things. I've been sending all the audio files off to Newt, who's been a god and a blessing upon us to compile all of this audio and put it out into audio format for you guys, adding in music, sound effects, all the good stuff. And that's where you're going to be hearing a lot of stuff coming out. So the next episode that will be coming out, I'll be finalizing the Black Armory lore book, which is a great look into obviously the Black Armory and how they viewed the collapse of humanity, like from a civilian's perspective on the collapse. And I might go into, I don't know what I want to go into next, either the last days on Kraken Mare, or I'm not entirely certain, but it's on the ADP channel on Spotify. It's within all the same, within all the same episodes. It's peppered in. There's no separate channel for it. It's all on the ADP network. So yeah, that's all I've really got for you. But yeah.
Okay, well, shall we start our wrap?
Sure. So I guess you guys will be hearing my my research in the next
full Eris Morn research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's probably going to be the biggest of the 3.
Yeah.
So I think it'll fill pretty much a whole lore section almost.
Yeah.
Just about. Which you guys did really well on this episode. So well done, guys.
Yeah.
Well
okay.
done.
We'll leave the lore to the lore mind so we don't punch in on 2-hour episodes every week. But yeah, no, shorter stuff. It's I know a lot of the information that I have is good information, but it's regurgitated through many campaigns that many people have played. But still good. It was good for me to learn.
Yeah.
I'm into learning more about Eris next week.
That's a good thing. So Cole, where can people find you?
On Twitter, you guys can find me at ADP Colossus. I'm not going to spell that because I can't remember how to spell. And that's where you're going to find a lot of your updates for for the ADP podcast, your memes, but I do feel like Starlight has kind of surpassed me on that. You can also find me
With
on
my one meme takes the crown.
literally better than anything I've ever posted, which is goddamn depressing because yours was pure gold. I'm not even
And
gonna lie.
yours were reposts. Anyway.
Yeah, they were. Bold of you to assume I'm original. Yeah, and you can also find me on Xbox Live because I'm still too poor to afford a PC. The Colossus, capital T, capital C, all of that good stuff. And yeah, where can they find you guys?
Starlight.
Nude.
Starlight.
Okay, you can find me at on Twitter at ADP Starlight for the best Destiny memes, and also coming soon hashtag Starlight Grind. I'll be live tweeting every time I level up from level 18 to when I hit level 100. So Eris, my girl, I'm gonna be coming to hang out with you. And then yeah, you can find me on Xbox, Starlight Falcon, and you can also find me on Steam, maybe Starlight Falcon. Find me on Xbox first. I'll see if I like you on Xbox before I let you clutter up my computer.
You'll find it if you can spell first.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Is that why you haven't friended me on Steam yet?
We're friends on Steam.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
You
kidding.
play it. Oh, you play it.
I'm playing.
Oh,
I'm
you
playing.
play
I'm
it.
playing. Playing.
You play it.
We cool. We cool.
Okay.
We cool.
Newt, where can we find you and all of your good content?
We cool.
Y'all can find me on Twitter at ADPNewt. The E is a 3. Shoot me a message there if you want to play anything. I've been pretty heavy into Lord of the Rings Online, but I'm gonna try to grind out some Destiny as well and get my season pass finished.
Hashtag ground up newts.
Oh, actually, like just gonna piggyback on the whole Steam thing. If y'all want to find us and play some Age of Mythology, add Newt on Steam and we'll play a bunch of an outdated game, which is still an amazing amount of fun. So yeah.
Or stick fight.
Stick fight. Also, guys, I'm sorry, but can we please try Mount Your Friends?
Nope.
No.
Yay! It'll happen. I'll make it happen. I'll buy it all as gifts, and then we have to play.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down.
Cool, because it's like $3.
You can also, more importantly, find the main account, Another Destiny Podcast, at Podcast Destiny on Twitter. You can find us on Spotify, Another Destiny Podcast on YouTube, Another Destiny Podcast, fancy that, or on Twitch. Guess what? Another Destiny Podcast. If you have any comments or questions or queries, send it to at Podcast Destiny, the main account. If you have any memes, probably send those to Starlight. And
only if they're fresh and /or dank.
And
God,
if you have any suggestions for the lore mind, please tweet Cole. If you have any subjects that you're interested in, or hashtag lore mind.
I'm here to support the people, and I'm here to tell what the people want to hear. So,
and also big shout out to Stephen Hawking Talking Dirty, Harry Peppers, Real Time Sloth for the follows, Ginger Giggle, thank you for the host, and Ginger Giggles find Ginger Giggles on Twitter at @GingerGiggles_ for any artwork that you may need. She's a lovely lady and a great artist. Alrighty.
Did we already thank Tibbs for being in the chat?
Sorry?
Did we already thank Tibbs for being in the chat?
No, but thank you not just to Tibbs, but anybody who stopped by in the chat.
Yeah,
all you in the chat.
We love you very much.
Awesome to see. This chat was active tonight, so thanks. No,
thank you.
Mute him, please.
No.
And, thank you very much to our Spotify listeners and Spotify followers. You guys are the best. We love you very much.
All right. So Newt, what should we always remember?
Remember, you always have time for another Destiny podcast.